What's up, Mesa class? Trying something new here. We've been doing it where I've been lecturing you guys every class or so for a little bit, and then you're expected to remember it. But sadly, sometimes you get to the stuff we're lecturing 3, 4, 5 classes later, so I know it's not the best. So trying something new with this next unit of MATLAB where I'm making these videos. I hope they help, but if not, I'll try something different. Okay, cool. So I've gone over this a bunch in class, but this is just a trial run. But going over the basics of scripts, okay, which are just lines of executable code that MATLAB runs through once you call up in the command window. So you save a script file, and then you type that name into the command window, and it runs it, and it goes through the lines of code. So we're going to create a plot with this. So this is, once again, going to be reviewing plots and reviewing scripts. Okay, cool. So new script. Okay, top left. Brings it up. Okay. And this is not a function. This is just a script file. We'll go over functions later. Okay, so script. Do plot. First thing you need to do with plot is create a vector for your independent variable, which in this case is the x. Okay. It's kind of like in Excel. We've talked about this, where you create a column of data that you plot against another column of data. In this case, our columns are vectors. Okay, so this is going to be a simple equation, but x equals, I'm going to do linspace. Okay, and linspace creates a vector from 0. I'm going to do -5 to 5. Okay, and if you don't, right here shows you the two syntaxes you can use. If you don't put anything after the second number, it just creates 100 numbers in that vector. If you put a number in here, it creates that specific number of vectors. So you either leave that blank or add a specific n. I'm just going to leave it blank. Okay, make sure to suppress it. I hate when you guys don't suppress it. Okay, so that's semicolon suppresses it. Okay, and then now we have that. We have the x vector. We got to write an equation for y based on that x vector. Okay, so y equals, let's just do 5 times x squared. Okay, minus 30. Okay, and you need the dot there because you're doing element by element multiplication. Okay, instead of multiplying the actual vector by the vector, which wouldn't work. Okay, now we have that. The next step is to plot x, y. Okay, so then we got to save it, and save it as test. And this will be a thing. Overwrite whatever it is. Okay, so now I go down to the command window, I type an example, and it's going to run through these 3 lines of code in order. Waiting. I don't like talking to a computer by myself. I'm going with it. Here we go. It's up. It's on the other screen. Let me drag it over. Okay. So there we go. There's a plot from -5 to 5. And that's 5 times x squared minus 3. Cool. Okay, now we're going to add some formatting to it. Real quickly, a big mistake you guys keep making is you would make, instead of making x linspace, quick tip, if you want to just don't want to erase a line but don't want it to run, just make it a comment and makes it non-executable. So if it's green, it's not going to, the computer's not going to run through it. It's just a comment. So all you guys do is x equals 3. So you have a single number. Okay, and then you try to plot it, and the problem you get is you get nothing. What you're actually getting is just 1 point. X is 3, and then plug 3 in these equations. 3 squared times 5, so 9 times 5 minus 3, 42. So you're just plotting 3 and 45, which is just 1 point, which doesn't help us out at all. So that's why you need to start with a vector always to actually get points. And let's say we did 10 here. Our plot's going to look nowhere near as good because it's only 10 points it's plotting. So you see how it's a lot more less smooth and it's a lot more straight lines. That's why you want at least 100 points. So instead of 10 points, which was there. Okay, cool. So now we want to add formatting to this plot. Okay. So first thing might be a title. Okay. So let's go over here. And actually, let's change the graph. So let's say we want to make the line red. Okay, so I do that. I go over here and I run. Okay, and then now my line is red. Now sometimes you guys want to add dots or dashes. Okay, so then you do that. Save. Okay, and then you run. I gotta bring it up. Sorry. So now I have dashes. A lot of you guys, your natural thing, which is understandable, is to do one set of formatting and then do another set of formatting, and that's not going to work. So if I go down and run this example, it's going to have an error because of the separation. So all the formatting needs to be in one set of quotes after your two sets of data. So x, y, and then r dot dot. Okay. MATLAB 2 has all of these different things you can do in the tutorial. Okay. In terms of types of lines, colors, types of markers, and all of that jazz. Okay. So now I'm going to show you. I'm going to change it so we add a title. Okay. So X label. X label. So label an axis. Okay. So I'm just going to label it X. Okay. So you add a string into the function X label. Okay. Y label Y. Okay. Pretty straightforward. Okay. And then now we're going to do a title. So then we do title, what do we want to call it? X versus Y. Pretty good title, right? Okay. So then I go down here, run it again. Example, brings it up, go through the lines of code, and now my figure has an X, Y, and a title. Okay. One of the things I ask you to do is plot multiple lines. So let's say we have another equation which is z times 6x times x plus 4. Okay. And then if we're trying to do a second line, you go after the formatting, you go x versus z. Okay. And then let's make this green. Okay. And we're like, what if you're like, man, I don't know the other types of lines. I don't know how to make the other types of lines. Well, the best tool in MATLAB is the doc function. So doc plot. Okay. You type in, it takes a while to load this. But this is going to bring up a lot of help for us. Okay, so it brings up this browser help window. Okay. And it's cool. So it's 2D line plot. That's the function. Okay. Different syntax. So x versus y with some line formatting, line space. So this is once again where I put the quotes here. Okay. If you want to do multiple lines, x versus y, and you click here and you get examples. Okay, so this is kind of a rat right now. This comes down here. I have x, y1, y2, y3, and you see how they kind of go x, y1, x, y2, and then they do formatting because they want the lines to look different. Okay, so this is another type of line we could do is the colon. Let's kind of see what that would do. And the best thing to do with MATLAB is just experiment. Okay, we have that. Okay, and this is going to say functions. Okay, and then different functions. Terrible name, but we're just rolling with it. And we run. You hit run up here, or you can type it in down below. Okay, now our graph is going to look different, so let's go to it. Okay, green, really hard to see. Cool. So now I've shared with you in the tutorial, but let's say you don't have that with you, and you just still want to see how to do this. So now let's scroll through the help. Let's make this full screen. You can see more. Okay, and it just gives you lots of examples, which is huge. You can copy and paste the syntax if you want. Okay, so this is pretty cool. Line width. So let's see what that means. So let's go up here. A lot of stuff, guys, with MATLAB, I'm not complete experts with either. But I go through this, and it helps me out a lot. And sometimes I do it wrong. So let's try this line width thing. Okay. So we're going to go back to the command window. Okay. And type line width. And let's see back to the syntax. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. Look it up. Line width. Let's see what happens here. Back recording. Obviously did something wrong there, but Mr. Daly came in and I got very self-conscious. Okay, so that line width didn't work, but I have another plan. So farther down in that doc, there's another example here. It says P1, okay, dot line width equals 2. So this is changing, I think, line 1 to that. So we're going to go over here, go back to our thing, okay, get rid of this because this obviously didn't work. Okay, and delete that, okay, go here, P1 dot line width equals 2. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Now let's go back and make sure I have the syntax right. Looks like it. Okay, and now I'm going to run this. Let's see what happens. Okay, go back. Now I got to look at the plot. Is that thicker? I don't know. Let's go with 3. Let's make it real thick and see if it does anything. Run. I don't know if that's getting thick. This is kind of awkward. Try 7. Run. Bring out MATLAB. Definitely not getting thicker. This is an embarrassing first tutorial. You win some, you lose some. Okay. What am I doing wrong? Figured it out. Looking at the doc, I needed to actually do this. So I named the plot P. So right now, it doesn't know what P is, so it's not changing. So now we got that. Okay. It's going to be real thick, hopefully. Let's give it a go. Run. Voila. Oh yeah, it worked. There we go. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So once again, guys, I think a good, even though it's kind of embarrassing because I don't know everything, I think it's good for you guys to realize that it takes time. And if you don't know, you have the way to figure it out. Cool. This is also what I want to show you, different lines. So let's change one of them to a dash dot. Okay. Dash dot. So we go over here. Okay. And then we're going to make markers on it too. Okay. So real quick over here, make this dash dot, and then I'm going to make it a O for a marker. Let's run it. Let's see if that works. Okay. Let's go look at it. Bam, and it's got, looks really bad because it's 100 points, but you see how each of the points is marked with a circle. Cool. Okay, well, this ends our first tutorial. I hope this helps. And once again, I'm not going to edit these. I'm not going to waste time doing that. So if I screw up, we're just going to roll with it. Okay? Cool. Thanks from Mr. Lorenzoni. I'm going to go make another one.